Hey everyone, welcome to another Facebook Live. I'm your host, Jess,
And I'm your host, Lauren.
and today we do have a special guest that we will introduce very shortly. The title of today's Facebook Live is we're going to be talking about the Penn Foster student community and how you meet and make friends through that platform. And before we get started, Lauren's going to just run over a few rules, regulations, disclaimers for Facebook Live etiquette.
Sure thing. Like Jess said, today we'll be talking about the Penn Foster student community. So, with that, as I'm sure you already know, it's all about connecting. Please start by connecting with us today here on this Facebook Live. If you want to say hi to Sean, our special guest, say hi to us. Leave us a comment if you have any questions. Or thoughts as we're talking today, please leave all of that in the comments. Also, feel free to share this with your friends or tag anyone who you think might be interested. And please give us some likes if you like what we're saying. If you do have any questions or want to talk about your account specifically, please don't leave any personal information in the comments because, of course, the comments are public. If you are a current Penn Foster student, you can instead call Student Services at 1-888-427-1000. If you are not yet a Penn Foster student but have some questions or are thinking about enrolling, you can always call our admissions department at 1-888-427-6500. So with that being said, let's get into the really exciting part, which is introducing Sean, who is the community manager. So if you have been in the Penn Foster student community, I am 99% positive you will have seen posts or comments or reactions from the community manager, and you might have thought, who is this person that I am talking to? Is this just some bot? It's not a bot. It's a real person, and he is right here with us today. So welcome, Sean. We're so happy to have you here. Could you talk to us a little bit about who you are and what you do, and maybe even throw in a fun fact about yourself?
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, Lauren. Just this has been a long time coming now. Having an opportunity to do the Facebook Live. I was getting a little bit jealous watching all the great content, just waiting for my opportunity. But as you stated, my name is Sean Bryant, formerly known as Sean Cares through the community. I've actually been working with the student community for 6 to 7 years now with Penn Foster. Just having an opportunity to voice the opinions of others, help everyone grow in their distinctive field. I think that is where the side point came from the Sean Cares, because I like to give my all to all of our students. It makes me leave my job feeling great, feeling like I accomplished something in the world. So I don't literally feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm changing the world one student at a time. So it's helpful for me, beneficial for my mental capacity, as well as it's beneficial for our students.
I love to hear that. Do you want to share a fun fact about yourself, Sean, to help us get to know you better?
Okay, well, a fun fact about me, I did used to play football a long time ago. I've actually grown up playing sports since the age of 6. And one of the fun facts is that I have this passion for dancing. I like to, instead of doing stretching routines, things of that nature, I typically like to dance for like 30 minutes before I started lifting weights or doing outside exercising. So you may find me somewhere in Atlanta moonwalking or doing our new hip hop dances or choreographic. And I also know how to tap dance too. So I believe I just let the cat out the bag. So, I like to just move around and be happy. So that's what I kind of like to do. One of my fun facts.
We
That
love to
is
hear
so
that.
cool. I've always wanted to learn how to tap dance, and I've tried, and it's very difficult. So I give you anybody kudos who knows how to do it.
Thank you.
And
Thank
for
you.
everyone watching, it's time to share your fun facts too, since Sean spilled a little secret about himself. So tell us in the comments a fun fact about you so we can all get to know each other here today.
And that's the perfect lead into the student community because that is where, everybody gets to know each other and gets to, really start connecting on a level even deeper than just, being students, being peers. So, Sean, do you want to give us just a blanket overview of what the student community is?
Sure, no worries. The community is a virtual hangout for students to socialize and connect. It's an opportunity for a platform where they can actually get support, get assistance, look for a mentor, and also have an opportunity to join forces, rather, with other students that's chasing the same goal, which is competing, graduating. So this is the ultimate platform, I would say, to where if you are thinking about what has changed from the brick and mortar school, you're missing out on the walking to your hall, walking to your locker after school, things of that nature. So that particular big social interaction is something that has been missing online. So how can we help that? How can we bridge that gap? And there you go. We have it. It's the student community. So you have opportunity in all phases of life, all phases of walks. I think everybody will actually remember those moments in school, and it stays with you forever. So I just try to help and, of course, bring that to life through the student community.
I think that's a really good point about, being an online learner. There are a lot of perks that go with that. And, it's convenient for your schedule and you can study kind of with other things going on, and that's all cool. But it's nice to have that level of social interaction so the community can provide that. And it's another place where you can log on when you want to. You could talk to
Yes.
people when you want to, participate in discussions when you want to, but it's not forced. So it's just
No.
something that's there to make you feel connected in the ways that you want to be, which is really cool. And Sean, you're a big part of fostering those connections and getting people talking. So could you tell us a little bit more about what you do as a community manager?
Well, yes. First and foremost, I like to make sure that we are, of course, following the appropriate formats, the rules and guidelines of the community. But most importantly, I like to act as the brand voice and making sure that the students are engaged academically and socially. So I like to take full responsibility to attack that particular approach of being successful with the students.
Yeah, and that's really, obviously we all use the internet in different ways, and there's obviously, certain forms, there are rules and regulations, and you want to make sure that everybody's following those. But on top of that, you don't want to be seen as like just a moderator. You want to be there for our students and, to ask questions, to feel comfortable with somebody who has all the answers. So I think that having the community manager, not only to make sure that everybody's following rules and guidelines, but just to be that, lifeline for everything that they need. That's really important. So it's really, really big role.
Yeah, and I will say too, like the rules and guidelines aren't to take away anybody's, good time. It's just more to ensure that the community is a safe place where everybody
Correct.
feels welcome. And it's a positive place for all of you to get support or be able to talk about your courses or talk about your interests and feel really accepted in that place. So that's what the rules are for. But it's really just like a great forum for you to connect and enjoy meeting and talking to one another.
Yes.
What would you say, you've been in this role for a really long time. How long have you been in this role, actually, Sean?
I've actually, the actual student community role, I've been in this role for about 6 to 7 years now.
Right. So, you've been doing it for a long time. What do you
Yes.
enjoy the most about being the community manager?
Well, I would say most importantly, what I enjoy the most is just helping students accomplish and reach their goals. I think from outside of working actually specifically with the student community, being able to start in the admissions department and also actually be in the educational services department at the same time. So I'm actually fast six from all around from the actual student experience. So I understand what the students are actually going through when they actually start the program and get started. The most important part that I think is great for my actual position is the middle part to, okay, I'm enrolled, I'm getting started, now what? And then that's when I actually appear to say, hey, remember why you started? I'm here to help you to help you go as far as you would like to go, meet your goals, accomplish your dreams. So I think the most beneficial thing for me is to say that I can help someone change their lives or better their lives. A lot of our students come from all facets of life and situations, ups and downs, things of that nature, and most times, the world gives you a lot of no's. So I just like to be that one person to give you the yes, you can do it. So I think if you can actually do those things and be that one person, it's a trickle down effect. So once you lead the student community, you're going to actually take that on with you in the journey to your life. So I just try to focusly maintain that particular consistency on letting them know that you can achieve and do whatever you want to do.
I love that. I think, having self-paced programs, that's great, but sometimes motivating yourself to continue can be a challenge, like you said, Sean, and having the community be a place where learners can go to talk to you, talk to each other, and get that motivation to remember, why are you doing this in the first place? And, just get that extra encouragement to continue going. I think that's really cool. And it's definitely something that I think for a lot of you that are worried about staying motivated, this could be a great tool to get that encouragement, which is awesome. So I know some people here today might be wondering, this all sounds great, but how do they sign up? How do they join?
Well, you actually have two options to actually sign up and join. You can actually join online, or you can actually do a single sign on through the student portal, which I actually try to prefer students to do so as well, simply because it actually gravitates and saves all of your actual information, which simplifies the particular progression as well. So once you're actually able to sign up and you receive your student ID number, you actually go through the student portal. It links all of your information, so it's seamlessly, so you're able to get started as soon as possible.
Very easy. And if any of you want the online link, our Backstage buddy Des will pop that in the comments now.
Yeah, and it sounds like, this isn't not only a great place, you're there to be there for everybody, but I love what you said about it being a trickle down effect. So,
Yes.
you're giving everybody the yeses when they're being faced with the no's. And then
Yes.
hopefully, those students will continue on in the community and they might meet another new student who also needs, that same motivation, that same, kindness, which is really incredible that we have a platform that's available to our students that, makes it easy for them to meet other people in their same situations and their same, mental states and everything of that nature. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. To be honest with you guys, having the opportunity to assist students. Of course, I like to call it the safe place, because a lot of our students, when they enroll and they are signed up through the student community and they're actually introducing themselves, the amount of emotions that comes out of the verbiage and the things that they're typing down, their testimonials of why they're here, why they're starting, who are they doing it for. You can't help but to give them your all, and try to make sure that what you're doing and responding back to them, helping them to be continue to be engaged, without pressuring the students, right? It's something that we want them to have the ability to have total control of their future. It's self-paced, as Lauren stated, and just have an opportunity to where I understand that I may not be able to get to everybody live, but if I leave this information here, whenever you are available, you'll see that I'm there for you. And then, of course, and I think with all of our other students, they're so great. The PF Proud, it's just amazing. And to have the opportunity to where that if you're not there, then you have another student that's actually going to help you and assist you, because you know why? Because we're all together chasing that one dream of being successful and to cross that finish line to graduate. So I believe that this is the safe place. A lot of our students expresses that all the time through the community, and they're utilizing it a lot more than that you would think about, and just outside of just studies and needing assistance with their schoolwork, but just life itself, and everyone that's actually focused and trying to better themselves. So I just think this is an opportunity where you can come to the community as level-headed and be able to be yourself. and it's a judge-free zone, so everyone can get along. And I think that's the fastest of the world. That everyone has different opinions, different ideas, and it comes together that each and every one of everybody can actually gain from somebody. So I think it's great.
Sean, wasn't there a discussion you were talking about the other week about students talking about why they're weird?
Yes, yes. It's actually a group.
I
They
love
created a
that.
group. It's called the Weird Squad, and so it's just being able to be themselves, not be conformed to society standards, and just be happy. And I just want to be able to be natural. And it was just one of those feelings, and that it touched me so much that I told you about it, Lauren. And I asked them, I said, hey, I know I'm the community manager, but can I join? And they accepted me, so they told me I could join. So I was just like, right on. I really enjoy this opportunity. And I think anytime that I can get the organic closeness with the students, it makes me believe that I'm doing my job, to be accepted amongst other students. Because we all know when you have that particular title, especially in a school setting, you don't typically get to be inside of those particular conversations or feel freely to want to speak in front of the students. I kind of like to give the example of, if you're in a classroom setting and the teacher asks, do everybody understands, or is there any questions? Nobody doesn't raise their hands. No one has some questions until the bell rings. And as you go into your locker room, into your locker, or go into your next class, you're like, hey, Jess, did you get what was asking? Or I really didn't understand. And that's what the community is about, to where now I can pop in and go over those particular with you to make sure that you fully understand it. And guess what? It's not just you that don't understand the questions. It's a lot of students that may have and be tripped up with the same particular information that was provided. So I just like to make sure that I keep that, as I'm responding to our particular students. And of course, when I'm actually updating them new programs and things of that nature, that they will actually need to be successful.
I think that's really cool too. You make a really good point about, not wanting to talk, directly to the teacher and not wanting to voice your questions.
Yes.
I think, that a lot of our students are people who are a little bit more introverted and aren't very extroverted and don't really, speak out or voice, questions or opinions and comments and concerns, which, in the classroom can be one thing, but it's another thing, just in a social situation. And a lot of people, that do online school are not the kind of people who can just walk up to somebody and, start talking to them. So I think the student
Yes.
community gives everybody an opportunity to, make friends too, that are going through the same thing as you and can understand, your trials and your tribulations doing
Yes.
online school, and not have to have that awkwardness of being in person, which I know a lot of us feel, even the most extroverted of us feel that way
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, on top of, just having the opportunity to talk to each other about classes, talk to each other about, anything, what would you say are the benefits of the student community for the student, anything beyond what we've already spoke on?
Well, I would think number one, the benefits is to be able to connect with other students. I think it's most important for them, because it's online, that they have that social interaction, um, through their course, through their course in their studies, because that's something that's actually needed. If not, you feel alone. And I don't think anyone would like to be alone and just studying and participating, in something that is very dear and important to them. So I would want to be able to work with Jess. I would want to be able to work with Lauren, because we're all in it together, right? You're maybe in the high school program. Lauren, you may be an alumni student, right? And I can just be taking a career diploma program to obtain a certification. But guess what? We're still all in it together, and we're all accomplishing our goals. And I can learn something from you, Jess. Jess, you can learn something from me, and we all can learn something from Lauren. And we're maybe taking totally different programs. So I think that's most importantly, and it's great.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And I've been thinking about like, how do we tell everyone like what there is to do in the student community? And like that is the biggest thing, is like connecting with your peers, connecting with fellow learners. And you could, Sean's exactly right. Like if whatever program you're in, you can learn something from each other. But just so you all know too, the student community is organized into kind of like program categories. So
Yes.
it is easy for you to find people that are in your program or are interested in some of the same things that you are, like animal health or, building things, healthcare, whatever it is that you're studying and that you're passionate about, you can find people that are similar. Sean, another thing that I wanted to ask you about in terms of like what there is to do in the student community is also like I know you talked about alumni, but there's like another group of learners that I think that you should mention that are really great role models, that are very motivated and are always there to help. So if any of you have any questions or just want to engage with somebody who knows a lot about Penn Foster, who knows a lot about online learning, who should they talk to, Sean?
You actually absolutely 100% you want to talk to our student ambassadors. They are actually our student leaders. They're very knowledgeable of the community as well as the course assignments, which may vary in your particular studies. So you're able to connect with them. They will assist you. They can actually become a mentor, which of course is totally up to you, but they're there if you need it. You also have opportunity, just to piggyback off of what you spoke about, Lauren, is that you do have those different facets of the programs. But of course, we also have clubs. So if you're able to join the book club, the chess club, I've just recently approved the sports club. So, and it's something for everything. And here's the best part, Jess, is that you have an opportunity. If you don't see a club that you're interested in, you have the ability to approve it on your own. So guess what? Maybe you like this particular idea, or you like to do something great, say piano club, whatever your mind can that you love, right? And you post it and it's approved, and you would be shocked to find out that there's other students all across the world online that loves the same hobbies that you have. And then now that's actually turned into a friendship, and that friendship turned into a study buddy, and that study buddy turned into, hey, alumni and graduation. So now you can actually count on and lean on each other through the platform of the community. So I think it's great.
That's something too that I don't think when you're starting online school, you don't think about, because in high school and, growing up, everybody always talks about extracurriculars, right? And joining clubs and being active and meeting people. And the student community is kind of your way of doing that while you are learning online. And you can join, the book club or the chess club or something like that, and meet people who have your similar interests outside of school. And that's something that, you try to do when you're in a traditional school setting. Your parents are always like, join clubs, do things like this,
Yes.
And you think you don't have that when you do your schooling online. But with Penn Foster and the student community, you do have that option, which is really, really incredible. And I think that that's really important for people to meet each other, to not feel isolated, to be able to not just be focusing on school when they're on the student community, being able to just meet people with similar interests. That's it right there. That's really cool.
Yes, it is. I did want to touch on that. I think it's extremely fascinating that our students, as I touched briefly on our alumni section in the community, is that just recently it was maybe 3 to 4 students asking, hey, will I still be able to access the student community after I graduate? So right there lets me know that they was able to build such a great rapport that they still want to be able to have access to the student community, which of course, the second part would be so beneficial on our end from a brand voice, is that you're not hearing it just from me, you're actually hearing it from students that started just like you guys and actually pushed through and was able to accomplish their particular goal, and utilizing that information as a testimonial and just encouragement for our future students and active students that's actually going through the programs. And also which would be beneficial for the alumni students is that, hey, you may want to join and start another particular program. You want to get the latest updates and information, what's going on with Penn Foster. You want to check on your Penn Foster family members, and that you can help and assist, as you knew that your journey itself was a tough one. So you don't want to see that go on with anybody else. So if you can actually help and log in, you'll do it with no problem. So I thought that was great.
I think another great benefit too of being able to connect with alumni is that you can ask them for career advice. If these are people that have gone through their program, graduated, and are now in a job that is maybe a job that you would want, you can ask them, what is it like to interview for a job like this? What kind of extra skills should I be prepared for? What kind of interview questions do you think I'll get asked? So I think that could be cool too. Maybe even, a good networking platform if, people are applying for jobs in the same companies or within the same area. So that's something to think about too. But hey, Sean, one last question I wanted to ask you, and I think a lot of the people that are watching today will be wondering, is how do they get in touch with you directly on the student community?
Well, you're able to, I'm sorry, but you're able to contact me directly on the wall. You can actually @me, the community manager. You also have the opportunity to create a thread for me to read and view and contact you back. And then we also have other measures, depending on the severity of what is needed to reach me. I'm actually there all the time. I like to post a little post that the eyes are everywhere, which is me. And I like to go into different groups and threads and just say, hi, I'm here. I have a quick story. I like to do this, especially with our new students. When they say, hey, I'm a new student, my name is, just use it for example, Lauren. And I like to go in, I like to be the first person to greet them and welcome into the community. And the new student replied back was like, who are you? Right? And I responded and I was like, I'm the sound that goes bump in the night. And I literally, even though that we're online, I literally felt everybody laughing, and that generated so much engagement. Everyone was laughing, LOLs was everywhere. And I was just like, hey, I'm Sean Carrots, community manager. I'm here to help you. She's like, oh, great. That is great. Thank you. And since then, I feel like I have a new friend, and everything that I'm posting, she's very receptive to it and things of that nature. So it's just one of those things.
I love that.
That's incredible.
Well, to everyone watching today, please either join or log into the student community, and you might get some fun message from Sean to welcome you. We really appreciate all of you joining us to learn more about the community today. And Sean, we really appreciate you being here to tell us all about this awesome place where you get to connect with everyone and all of our learners can connect with each other. So thank you for being here, and thanks for sharing so much knowledge with us today.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Of course. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.